Hello there! December is upon us once again, the last chance for game publishers to grab our attention before Christmas arrives. After the staggeringly packed October and November months, things have cooled off a little, but there's still some great premium, reduced price and free games worthy of your attention. So for the final time in 2023, here's the best games releasing this month, followed by some terrible dad jokes. The highlight of December is Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, a game about those blue people from two of the highest grossing movies of all time, Avatar and Avatar: Way of the Water. A thing to know right away is that the story here is a standalone experience, but it does link to the movies. Kinda like the Hogwarts game earlier in the year. If you know the subject matter, you will get more out of the experience, but it isn't completely necessary. I've been lucky enough to play Avatar for a few hours, and without a doubt, Far Cry gamers will feel right at home with this one. Gameplay wise, we are a Na'vi, playing in first person as we go through their trials, such as choosing your own mount. Mine here is called Carol. From there, the world is fully explorable as the war with the Sky People begins. During our playthrough, we can harness both Na'vi and human weaponry. Personally, I found using a bow and staying as stealthy as possible was the most satisfying way to play. But when outnumbered and outgunned, switching to the heavy machinery to tear through the more tanky enemies was also quite satisfying. This is a Ubisoft game, so expect the usual incredibly filled open world with numerous side quests, like saving this beast from captivity. I checked if we had to save him, and no, we do not. Surprisingly, this Ubisoft open world game is not made by the team I expected. It's actually made by the people who brought us The Division. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora releases on December 7th on PS5, Xbox Series and PC. The next game I was excited to talk about is Disney Dreamlight Valley, mainly because it was intended to be a free-to-play game in the style of Animal Crossing, but based around Disney properties instead. But alas, the decision was made to keep Dreamlight Valley a premium experience, which leaves early access on December 5th, although it will retain its lower digital price of around $30 US and £25 here in the UK. We arrive in this game world to find almost all Disney characters have lost their memories, so we move in, operating as a life sim in which the clock on your console or PC is synced to the time in game. We customize and build everything from our own character, our home, and we even do the gardening. The world then opens up and unlocks new biomes related to Disney and Pixar characters, eventually leading to a bustling town of inhabitants. There's currently 41 characters to discover, ranging from Buzz to Moana, from Wreck-It Ralph to Mike Wazowski, with more characters added regularly. If a zen life sim based on Disney properties is your kind of thing, look out for Dreamlight Valley on December 5th. Okay, over to the free games for the month. And first up is an experience which refers to itself as the world's greatest free-to-play combat game show. This is the finals, and over 7.5 million players downloaded and played the beta last month, and the game is still confirmed to release in 2023. The finals is a first-person shooter inspired by movies like Hunger Games and Gladiator, a spectacle of combat. Set up as a TV show, contestants enter the arena, but instead of the usual modes you find in a first-person shooter, the finals changes things up. The cash-out mode sets 4 teams of 3 players against each other to grab as much cash and bank it before the timer hits 0. But during that time, other teams can steal your money, making for frantic scenarios of defense and attack constantly arising. Another amazing element about the finals is its nigh-on fully destructible arena. Hypothetically, if you see money on the top of a building, you could choose to knock that building down. The finals is also a class-based shooter, with light, medium and heavy options, which literally dictate how big your character is, and therefore how big their hitbox is. The smaller classes are faster and more agile, while the bigger ones are more tanky and can take more damage. The finals is set to release any day now. All we know is 2023 is the year it's coming, and as I'm writing this, it's likely the Game Awards will give us the information about the release date, so look out for that on December 7th. The finals, the first-person extraction shooter, will release on PS5, Xbox Series and PC. Another free-to-play game out right now is Hades Star Dark Nebula. Definitely not one for everyone, it's for a certain niche audience. Dark Nebula is a strategy game, which evolves into a multiplayer tactical battler. The premise is to build an empire, to use resources and travel the galaxy, exploring and taking over other planets in order to build your civilization. We begin in our own yellow star galaxy and slowly develop dropships, battleships, and interstellar travel. Many of the missions involve real-time countdowns and waiting for timers to refresh, like a mobile game, giving Hades Star a drop in for a few minutes, check on a few things, and then come back a few hours later kind of vibe. Once you get to grips with everything, you'll leave your yellow star constellation and venture into the red star space, which is the home of PvP, against or alongside 20 other players. Do you choose diplomacy or war? Hades Star Dark Nebula is out right now on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and mobile. I owe you a quick update on a game I showed you last month, Side Bullet, an interesting take on Battle Royale in a 2D side-scroller. Following its release, only a matter of days later, it was officially delisted and shut down. I've emailed PlayStation and the devs and yet have no information on this. I have no idea why it shut down, but Side Bullet lived for a few days and now it's gone forever. R.I.P. Halloween may have been and gone, but horror is still coming in December. The much-loved Five Nights at Freddy's series has another VR edition, Help Wanted 2, a unique PlayStation VR 2 minigame extravaganza, designed for replayability. This won't be a one and done. 6 confirmed modes are Backstage, Fazcade, Staff Only, Food Prep, Ticket Booth, and a special category containing new VR versions of Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. We've been told each playthrough will be quite unique, as different events will be triggered in any scenario, from going backstage as a VIP with Roxanne Wolf to playing as one of the security staff themselves. Help Wanted 2 will add to the extensive lore of Five Nights at Freddy's in the most of interactive platforms, and with PSVR 2's haptics, this may be the most terrifying of them all. Help Wanted 2 drops on PlayStation VR 2 on December 14th, and it's expected to come to PC VR soon after. A unique game I think's worth your attention is SteamWorld Build, which combines 2 genres, an in-depth city builder by day and a dungeon crawler by night. SteamWorld brings us robots and westerns. It's quite strange, but it works. And first asks us to build a town managing costs and challenging your feng shui skills. Soon the town grows to include rail and other industries, and all the while you're effectively the mayor deciding where to expand and what to spend money on. All that wealth is thanks to your minds under your feet, and that's where the gameplay changes. Down here, your riches are under threat from creatures of the darkness, and a tower defense style game mode begins. Play long enough and you'll evolve everything, including a science program, which comes with its own rocket ship. You're going interstellar. If SteamWorld Build is your jam, it drops on December 1st on the PlayStations, the Xboxes, the PC, and the Switch. Next, I intended to tell you about a game set in the world of the Lord of the Rings. Return to Moria takes the Middle-earth created by Tolkien and builds a survival crafting game upon it. From building bases to crafting armor to upgrading your pickaxe to mine increasingly rare ores. The thing is, the Xbox version has been delayed, and the PC version, which released last month, averages a score of 4 out of 10. So maybe this is not the Lord of the Rings game we deserve, or at least not yet. Other games dropping this month are Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising on PC and PlayStation on December 14th, the well-respected 2.5D fighting series. Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader is this month's RPG, releasing on December 7th. And surprisingly, the biggest game news of the month is not actually a game releasing, it's an announcement. In early December, Grand Theft Auto 6 will be officially announced, which has likely scared off a few games planning their own announcements. I intend to cover GTA 6 for the next few years, so do me a favour and check back if that's your kind of thing later in December. Okay, I've been in your earholes far too long. Let's end this with some terrible dad jokes. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl going to the bathroom? 'Cause the P is silent. It's old, but it's gold. Something Christmassy to end. What did one snowman say to the other? Do you smell carrots? Sorry, that's dreadful. I'm Adam, you're awesome. I'll see you next time.